Shadow's dark secret unveiled. It started on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon when I noticed my shadow wasn't quite behaving as it should. I was lounging in the park, the sun dipping low, when I saw it stretch and twist unnaturally, pointing toward the forest edge. I shrugged it off, thinking it was just a trick of the light. But then, it started moving, gliding along the ground, tugging at something within me, pulling me toward the darkening woods. This was the one place my grandmother had warned me about, the forest where the old village once stood, where no one returned from. Curiosity got the better of me, and I followed, my heart pounding with a mix of dread and anticipation. As I stepped into the forest, the air changed, growing dense and cold, filled with whispers that seemed to come from the trees themselves. My shadow led the way, weaving through the twisted trunks with a purpose I couldn't comprehend. The deeper I went, the more I felt eyes watching me, unseen but unmistakably there. I stumbled upon ancient ruins, remnants of a civilization long forgotten, yet early preserved. The carvings on the stones matched the strange contortions of my shadow, as if it were trying to communicate, to warn me or perhaps to lure me further into its depths. In the heart of the ruins stood a stone altar, bathed in the last light of the setting sun. My shadow slid across the ground, merging with the dark markings that covered the altar's surface. Suddenly, I was overwhelmed by visions, of rituals, of sacrifices made to appease something dark and insatiable that dwelled beneath the earth. The air felt electric, vibrating with an ancient power that seeped into my bones. I understood then that the warnings were not just tales to frighten children. They were desperate attempts to keep something contained, something that my presence had now awakened. The realization hit me like ice water. My shadow had not led me here to reveal a secret but to complete a cycle. I turned to leave, but the forest closed in, the whispers rising to a fever pitch. My shadow, now a living entity, wrapped around my feet, rooting me to the spot. The ground trembled, and from the altar, a dark figure began to rise, its eyes glowing with hunger and malice. I was the offering, the key to unleashing what had been trapped for centuries. As the figure approached, I felt my shadow dissolve into it, and I knew there was no escape. The forest would have its due, and I was merely the latest in a long line of those who had been warned but did not heed.